Okay, let me start. Who is Adi Shakti? What is Adi Shakti? Adi Shakti is nothing but the universal consciousness. Now, it is also called as the universal energy. Why it is called as universal energy and universal consciousness? What is the difference? We call energy as consciousness when energy acts intelligently. We call ourselves as consciousness, whereas a non-living thing we call as energy. But why do we do that? Is a non-living thing not intelligent? Or it is our misconception that it is not intelligent? See, in beginner spirituality, we have to differentiate between many things. But when we are advancing in spirituality, slowly the polarity is being reduced. There is no difference between a non-living thing and you. You are also Adi Shakti, the non-living thing is also Adi Shakti. That is, the universal consciousness is spread across everything. That is, non-living things and living things equally. It is just in different state. For example, the universal consciousness inside you is in motion, whereas inside a non-living thing it is at rest. But it is still interacting with the external environment, right? So how can you call it not intelligent? See, now your five sensory organs are interacting with the external environment. That is, my skin is interacting with the ground. That is why it is not passing through the ground. If it did not interact with the ground, then I would have passed through the ground. I could have passed through the wall. I could have become a ghost. So since my skin is interacting with the ground, I am sitting here. Similarly, I am able to see because my eyes can interact with the external world. My ears can interact with the external world. All of my sensory organs can interact with the external world. That is why I am a human being. Now, who is Adi Shakti? The universal consciousness, when it identifies itself with the five sensory organs, it becomes a human being. That is why I am a human being. When it identifies itself with the remote, it becomes a remote. So that is the difference between a living and non-living thing. But we have no right to call a non-living thing as not conscious. It is conscious, but in a different way. We are conscious in a different way. Now, what is Shiva? Shiva is the universal consciousness at rest. That is, it does not interact with anything. See, now Shakti is nothing but the universal consciousness which interacts with many things. It identifies itself with the five sensory organs. It interacts with the external world, etc. But Shiva is the universal consciousness which does not interact with anything. So it is nothingness, basically. But what is beyond Shakti and Shiva is Adi Shakti. That is the energy, pure consciousness. The difference is, when that pure consciousness, which is spread across the whole universe, when it is at its rest, it is Shiva. When it is in motion, it is Shakti. Now, what is Shakti in motion? What it means? Shakti in motion means your thoughts, your emotions, every minute thought that enters your mind is Shakti. I'll give you an example. When you meditate, when you try to meditate, that is, when you try to empty your mind does not get emptied. There are thoughts running, right? Okay, some people may say they can empty their mind. But still, there is that self, right, who is telling, I am emptying the mind. So, that self is still there. That means that universal consciousness is still not nothing. It is still not Shiva. It is still interacting. It is still identifying with the self. But when it stops identifying with the self, then it becomes Shiva. It becomes nothing, basically. That is what Nirvikalpa Samadhi is. When that universal consciousness does not identify itself with anything, it goes out of the body. It goes to the astral realm, causal realm, and finally becomes the whole universe. That is, finally rejoins the Brahman. It is not a physical place. See, now astral realm, causal realm are not something physical. It is our, again, since we cannot imagine astral and causal, we think it is physically somewhere. But it is within you. This is a very confusing topic. That is why I told in the beginning itself that it will be too deep to understand. Okay, let me make it simple. Just try to meditate, okay? See, there are thoughts running. That is Shakti. That is desire. Desire is nothing but Shakti. Desire to think, desire to act is Shakti. When there is no desire, that is Shiva. See, if you are trying to become Shiva, then you are moving towards nothingness. That you have to know. And if you are trying to become Shakti, then you are trying to develop more desires inside you. Now, in the society, there are many rules and regulations, like this is bad, this is good. So these rules and regulations are made so that the consciousness who have identified their self with the human beings will stay sane. But in advanced spirituality, there is no difference between sanity and insanity, good or bad. There is just nothingness. The good or bad, right? The polarity of different topics have been made by the human beings who have identified their self with the five senses. So they have made the polarity, but in reality there is no polarity. For the universal consciousness, there is no polarity. There is no good, bad, nothing is there. What I am trying to say is the whole universe is made by you. By you, I don't mean the you who is identifying itself with the five senses. I am telling the whole universe is made by the you who does not identify with anything. So Shiva, whole universe is made by the Shiva. That is the consciousness at rest. Another thing, this is a very deep dive. Hope you are ready. We think there is no Shiva here. But in reality, Shiva still exists here. It is our desire or thoughts that make this external world as external, and we appear as Shakti, but in reality there is no Shakti, there is only Shiva. This is a very deep concept. It is our illusion that the world exists, but it is all in the mind. That is, if we don't have any thoughts in the mind, there is no world. If you stop identifying yourself with the body, then there is no you, then there is no world, there is nothing, there is only Shiva. It is our illusion that makes us Shakti, that is desire. Shakti is nothing but desire. That our desire is the reason why the world exists. Yeah. So, desire and desireless are the two sides of the same coin, and that coin itself is Adi Shakti, that is the pure consciousness. When the pure consciousness is at its rest, it is Shiva. When pure consciousness is at its motion, it is Shakti. But the pure consciousness which is in the motion appears to be as Shakti because of desire. But if that desire is not there, there is no Shakti, there is only Shiva. The coin itself is Shiva. So it's a difficult topic. And another thing I want to clarify. In Vedanta, this universal consciousness is called as Brahman. In Shaktism or Shakta Sampradaya, it is called as Adi Shakti, and in Vaishnavism, it is called as this universal consciousness is called as Karnodakshaya Vishnu, or the one who governs the entire all the multiverses. And in Shaivism, the universal consciousness is called as Sadashiva. So, in different branches of Hinduism, the universal consciousness has different names. We should not get confused. We should know that everything leads to the same thing, that is universal consciousness at rest. It is at rest, but it is our illusion or the desire or the Shakti inside the mind that makes us think the world exists. The reason you cannot meditate is the reason why the world exists. The reason why your mind cannot be silent is the reason why the world exists. The reason why all the thoughts are pumping in your consciousness is the reason why the world exists. If there is no thought inside your consciousness, then the world does not exist. It is Shiva, and at the same time it is Shakti. When you see everything, it is Shakti, but when you see nothing, there it is Shiva. It is our illusion. That's what I am trying to say.